radio, television family. We are back, gathered once again on this Monday, the 8th day of August 2022. Dan Kuntz back in the captain's chair, thanks to my good buddy Arch Ecker, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, who agreed to come in and fill in, if you will, last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday while I went to our annual family reunion. A splendid time was had by all, but now it's back to work. Bear with me, I'm not 100% sure what it is that I do. It's a beautiful day today, going to be warm. We're going to have a little mini heat wave for the next 3 days. Triple digits right at it. Not going to last a long time like the heat wave we had a little while back, but it's going to be plenty warm for most people. It's a ridge of high pressure, not a big one, but it's going to be enough. So we have an excessive heat warning that begins a little bit later on today. Forecast details are on the way. It was a busy news weekend, and needless to say, that means it wasn't necessarily good. We'll have that for you as well. The Mariners split their weekend series with the Angels. The Wenatchee Apple Sox punched their ticket to the playoffs. They won their division's second half title. They get home field advantage. We'll talk about that when we play sports. And the Seattle Seahawks made history on Saturday. They played a mock game at Lumen Field and lost. I'm joking. All that good stuff coming up. And if you haven't seen it yet, the Hot August Nights, Pippin, of course, is a Jamie Donegan production. They had their first go-through last weekend. Huge crowds. It's an intimate setting. They only sell about 200 seats per show, and so far, so good. People are digging this program. And Pippin returns for its second run tomorrow and goes through Saturday. Tickets are hot. They're smoking hot. Jamie Donegan and my visit with Jamie to talk about the production of Pippin at the Numerica Performing Arts Center will air in the back half of the program. It's 70 degrees. It's beautiful. Let's go. It's August, too, by the way, and it's going to feel like August for the next couple of days. Our PTZ camera on Wenatchee Heights is zoomed about as far back as it can be zoomed. So it gives you an idea that, hey, is it a little hazy? It's really not that hazy. It's just that it's got so much information in the frame, it looks a little hazy. Again, it's going to be very warm and very dry, and we're a little worried about the possibility of a thunderstorm on Tuesday night and Wednesday. It's a possibility. So keep your fingers crossed on that. It's the worst kind of thunderstorm, dry, lightning, which means lightning but no rain associated with it. We don't want that. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley, camera number 2. Uriah wants to go visit the top of number 1 Canyon, or not the top of number 1 Canyon. That's a much longer drive, but up to the canyon we go with 5th Street on your left, passing by the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. On Saturday, we topped off at 89. Yesterday, 92. Our record high for today is 104. We're not going to get there, but it's going to be plenty warm for most folks. And also, we've lost about 9 minutes of daylight in the past week. Sunrise this morning was at 5:48. Sunset this evening at 8:24. That's 14 hours and 36 minutes of daylight. We're down 9 minutes from 1 week ago. Camera 3. Rock Island checks in. Good morning to Rock Island. That camera is high above Rock Island on one of those bluffs that overlooks the whole area. Oh, look, there's a bug there. Somebody whacked that bug. Get it. Got it. Yep, I got it. Good morning to Rock Island. Good morning to Malaga. You're off in the distance. Mission Ridge. And a little bit of the East Wenatchee Bench on the far right-hand side of your corner. Didn't get it. I was out of town, so I don't know how aviation days went up at the airport. I'm sure it was fine. I don't know. I got to get, you got to get caught up on emails and all that stuff that you missed when you take off from work. Camera number 4. Oh, get that. That's the glare, and so that's a spider web on the Butte camera. Looking down over Chelan, you can see the 3 fingers in the Sunset Marina and a big old spider web on that one. So one of our Sky-Fi guys, if you're watching, and I know they are, you got to drive up there, you got to go up to the Butte, and you got to take a little brush or a broom or something and clean that spider web off that camera lens if you don't mind. Good morning to Chelan, and of course it was a hopping place this weekend, and it will be again. Chelan, of course, had a late start to the tourism season. Memorial Day weekend, it wasn't particularly pleasant. It was cool and all that stuff, but Mother Nature has caught that up in a hurry, and Chelan is a hopping, bopping place to be if you want to escape the heat. Speaking of heat, going to be hot, and then thunderstorms are a possibility Tuesday evening and Wednesday. Now, here in the Wenatchee Valley, we're only talking about a 20% chance of a thunderstorm. It would be Tuesday night into Wednesday. We are going to be very warm today and very warm on Tuesday. And then as this high-pressure ridge begins to trample away, that means we do have a chance of a dry thunderstorm. Again, as you see there, little, if any, rain is possible. So that means, again, here in the Wenatchee Valley, only about 20% of that. The farther east you go, out towards Moses Lake, Ritzville, and that area, you have a better chance of getting thunderstorms. We don't want that, ever, in this time of year, specifically from the National Weather Service. The excessive heat warning starts at noon today, goes until 11 o'clock tomorrow. 103 today, close to the record high, but not quite there. We'll drop down to 72 for the overnight low tonight. It's August, so what you see is what is pretty normal for this time of the year. 102 on Tuesday, 74 for the overnight low. Then we start cooling down little by little. Is there a big difference between 102 and 98? For a lot of people there is. But again, on Wednesday, especially Wednesday morning, is our best chance of perhaps a thunderstorm. On Wednesday, through Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, that threat of a thunderstorm really decreases as we get deeper into the day on Wednesday, and then we just go with sunshine and warm temperatures. 98, 99, 96, 95, going to be very warm, but the next couple of days we can safely call it hot, and we have. And that is your weather. At 6 minutes after the hour. After a break, we will have your Monday morning news, and there is a lot of it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, August 8th edition on the NCW Life Channel.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
This is the NCW Live concert calendar. Fridays, it's live music at Alta Cellars in downtown Manson from 4 to 7 p.m. Sunday, it's Succession Winery located between Chelan and Manson with live music from 2 to 5. Chelan Cellars and Sorrento's Restaurante present music on Mondays at 4 p.m. weekly. Check the individual websites for more information. That's the NCW Live concert calendar.
At Click It RV, we're overstocked on inventory and need to make room for brand new models on our lot. Between our 4 locations in Spokane, Tri-Cities, Moses Lake, and Milton Freewater, we have hundreds of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and RVs that have to go. With low payments, 0 down, and no payments for 90 days, you'll want to hurry in today while the best floor plans are still available. Come check out the Overstock Liquidation Sale, going on now at Click It RV.
8 minutes after the hour, bountiful sunshine, 71 degrees, about 104 today, 103, about 103, close to a record high. A little bit cooler, but still triple digits. On Tuesday, maybe a thunderstorm Tuesday night into Wednesday, but sunny and hot for the rest of the week, too. And we begin with this story. 2 Chelan residents were killed when the motorcycle that they were riding struck a guardrail while swerving to avoid a cougar. This happened Saturday night, 3 miles south of Lake Chelan State Park. According to the Washington State Patrol, 69-year-old James Desmarius and 66-year-old Anita Desmarius were traveling southbound on South Lakeshore Road at about 9:40 when James Desmarius, the driver, lost control of his 2009 Honda VT 750 after spotting a cougar in the road. The motorcycle struck the guardrail on the right side of the road. Both passengers ejected. Both passengers declared dead at the scene. A 2-car head-on accident late Saturday night on 97A, just north of Wenatchee, critically injured both drivers and also closed the highway for about 4 hours. The Washington State Patrol says that just before midnight, a 2007 Toyota Corolla being driven by 36-year-old Juan Orozco Sanchez was traveling southbound when it crossed the center line and struck a 1988 GMC pickup being driven by 63-year-old Nicholas L. Clapham of Renton. Both Orozco Sanchez and Clapham were airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Orozco Sanchez faces charges of vehicular assault. The State Patrol believes that drugs or alcohol were a factor in that accident. A trailer holding 45,000 pounds of apples became detached from a semi on Thursday evening, and ended up rolling on Blewett Pass. Look at that. The Washington State Patrol said at about 7 o'clock on Thursday night, the southbound semi on Highway 97 lost control when the rear tires on the trailer somehow disconnected, and that sent both the rear wheel attachment and the trailer off the roadway on the right. The semi crossed the northbound lane, went off the left side of the road at milepost 151. Trooper Jeremy Weber says nobody was injured and there were minor traffic disruptions while the trailer was towed. He said the accident is under investigation, likely an equipment failure. It's pretty much a done deal. Republican Matt Larkin will take on Democratic incumbent Congresswoman Kim Schreier in the November general election in the 8th Congressional District seat. The contest is seen by both national parties as one of the battleground races as Republicans try to regain control of the U.S. House. Schreier easily advanced in Tuesday's primary election with 47.6% of the vote. Larkin had to wait for additional vote counts before fellow Republican Reagan Dunn conceded on Thursday. After election night tallies, Larkin led Dunn for second place by fewer than 100 votes, but subsequent counts have grown that lead to at least 4,000 votes. It's likely to be one of the biggest spending races in the country. Schreier's campaign went into the primary with about $6 million on hand. Larkin raised less than $1 million. But on Thursday, the Congressional Leadership Fund Super PAC said it was committing $3.9 million to defeat Schreier. That's just one of many PACs from both sides likely to pump a lot of money into the 8th District congressional race. Year over year, unemployment rates in the Wenatchee Valley continue to go down. We're on a 15-month winning streak, as a matter of fact, if you go all the way back to April of last year. The State Employment Security Department reports that the local unemployment rate, 4.3%, was 0.7 of a percentage point lower than the 5% reading in June of 2021. The number of unemployed residents declined dramatically. We went from 3,527 in June of last year to 2,947 in June of this year. That's a 16.4% decrease. Total non-farm employment in the Wenatchee MSA increased by 3.2%. That's about 1,500 jobs between Junes of 2021 and June of 2022. Employment rose from 47,100 jobs to 48,600 jobs. And last month, we told you about the efforts to study the Wenatchee Mountains chacker mallow. The chacker mallow is an endangered native plant. It only grows in Chelan County and no place else. The effort was a joint project of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and other agencies. Now the department has put together its own video to show how the population count was conducted in the Camas Meadow Natural Area, and here is that video.
Wenatchee Mountains checker mallow is an endangered species. It's what's considered a narrow range endemic, so it has a really limited range. It pretty much only grows in a very small area of the Wenatchee Mountains. Its habitat is wet meadows like we have here. This area is about 98% of the population. The Wenatchee Mountains checker mallow is a tall plant. It has a cluster of pink flowers at the top, so it's a really showy, pretty flower. Today is our annual survey for the species so that we can track population trends. And we're out here today doing our survey with our partners, Washington Department of Natural Resources with their Natural Heritage Program and the University of Washington Rare Care Program. We will walk through and mark each plant that we see with a pin flag, and then once we're done with this section, we'll come back through and count the flags, and that will tell us how many plants we have in that area, and we'll come back each year, allowing us to monitor population trends over time. It really informs our recovery effort. So knowledge is power. If we weren't monitoring them, we wouldn't know if our efforts were being successful or not. So it can help us, kind of adapt our efforts based on how the population trends are going.
You're in the loop on this Monday, the 8th day of August, and we will have a newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10. Grant Olson in the anchor chair. Also, he handles the weather forecast. He does both pretty well. And with a preview, here's Grant.
Good morning, Dan, and welcome back. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the heat wave number 2 is upon us. I'll let you know how hot we'll get and how long it'll last in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a weekend wrap on the Mariners, Apple Sox, and Seahawks. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Don't forget, you got a news tip. We'd love to hear from you. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a note on the Messenger app. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, or we have a Contact Us icon on our homepage. And you can just fill out the form, and it's down the road you go. The Apple Sox are off to the playoffs. The Mariners continue their playoff push, and the Seahawks beat the Seahawks on Saturday. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
I'm Brian Thorpe, and I'm proud to say that Global Car Care is growing. We always do the right thing, and because of that, we're busy, and it's time to hire an experienced automotive technician. We spend as much time with our coworkers as we do our own family. I want them to understand they're not a number here. They're a person with a family, and I want them to be part of this family too. Do you want an owner that understands and respects what you do every day? I'm that guy. Our compensation is the best in the area. I want you to have your career with us.
"17 minutes after the hour, Apple Sox champions. Playoff baseball is fun. Saturday's win over Walla Walla meant a second-half title in the West Coast League's North Division. For the Apple Sox, the voice of the Apple Sox, our good friend Storman Joel Norman, gives us the happy details.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox took 2 of 3 games over the weekend against the Walla Walla Sweets and captured the West Coast League's North Division second-half title, thus guaranteeing that they will have home field advantage in the first round of the postseason. Wenatchee won by 10-1 scores on Friday and Saturday, but could not finish off the sweep on Sunday, falling 7-5. The Apple Sox will take on the Kamloops Northpaws in the first round of the postseason. It's a best of 3 games. First team to 2 victories moves on. Apple Sox took 5 of 6 games against the Northpaws this season, but open up this series on the road. Game 1 will be on Tuesday night at Kamloops, before games 2 and, if necessary, 3 will be on Wednesday and Thursday, respectively, at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Apple Sox have made the postseason for the 14th time in 22 seasons and are looking to win their 6th West Coast League championship. Over the weekend, Joichiro Oyama stole 4 bases, and he has now recorded 42 stolen bases, thus giving him the West Coast League's single-season record for steals in a season. So congratulations to Oyama, as he broke the league single-season records for runs and stolen bases in 2022. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thanks, Joel. By the way, on Sunday, the Sweets scored 5 runs in the 9th inning to beat the Apple Sox 7-5. Sox newcomer Stephen Meyer was 2 for 4 with 3 runs and a couple of RBIs. Cole Kramer gave up the 5 spot, by the way, to take the loss. Another West Coast League play on Sunday. Victoria earned the number 4 seed in the North with a 3-1 win over Edmonton. Kamloops, of course, isn't the 3rd seed. After a 7-3 loss to Bellingham, the Bells are the number 1 seed. Corvallis fell to Ridgefield 4-3, but they still claim the first and second half titles in the WCL South. They'll be the number 1 seed. Portland, the number 2 seed. They're coming off an 8-2 win over Springfield. The Raptors are the number 3 seed. And Yakima Valley is the number 4 seed after they beat Kelowna 5-1. So the final standings in the second half of the North Division, as you see there, Wenatchee finishing a half game in front of Victoria for the title. The Bells finished 33-20 overall. Wenatchee's 6.5 games back at 27-27. Kamloops finished the regular season 26-27, and Victoria was 26-27. and 28. That's the overall standings for all the teams in the North. All right, in the South, Corvallis and Portland both finished the second half of the South Division at 21-7. Yakima Valley turned things around. After a bad first half, they had a great second half. The South had 3 teams finish with 30 or more wins. The Knights 39-15, the Pickles 36-16, Ridgefield 32-21. So the West Coast League playoffs are set. They begin tomorrow. Wenatchee plays at Kamloops at 6:35. Bellingham will play the first of its best-of-3 playoff series at Victoria. Yakima Valley will host Corvallis, and Portland is at Ridgefield. And we will have Game 2 of the series with Kamloops and Wenatchee live here Wednesday on the NCW Life channel. We'll take to the air at 6:30. The Mariners and Angels split their 4-game weekend series at T-Mobile Park. They lost a heartbreaker in 10 innings on Friday. Then they split a doubleheader on Saturday. And then on Sunday, 6-3. Thank you very much, Jesse Winker.
2-2 pitch. Compliment aboard. There we go. And it was due. That 0 for 11 wasn't going to last long. Frazier's going to score. Haniger will get the stop sign right there. RBI double A. Eugenio Suarez. Mariners have an early lead. 1-0 over the Angels here in the first inning. 2-0 pitch. Down the line. It's got a really good look to it. It is a grand slam for Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker, home run number 11, 3rd career grand slam. Mariners big lead at 5-0 against the Angels. Hey now!
This is exactly what you wanted to see. Catches a fastball 92 miles an hour out in front, exit velo of 103, right down the line. Just a matter of whether it was going to say fair or not. Grand slam.
Hit well down the third base line. That's a fair ball. It gets into the corner. Joe Adell rounding third. Renifo scores. Adell scores. 2-run double for David Fletcher. Halo's back in this one. It's 5-2.
Another opportunity to get on this board here. 1-1. That's going to make it happen. Down into the corner. Gino scores. Winker coming to third. Manny waving him on. Now we'll give him a late stop sign. He runs through the stop sign. Got a chance. He is out. They got him. That's your ball game. And the Mariners a satisfying win. 6-3 final.
Next up, my Yankees. 3-game series at T-Mobile Park gets going tonight at 7:10 on Root Sports Northwest. Don't call me. I will be busy. Another American League West action. Tristan McKenzie pitched 8 2-out shutout innings with 8 strikeouts, led Cleveland to a 1-0 victory over Houston. The White Sox had 4 players with 3 hits apiece. Chicago knock off Texas 8-2. And the Giants win the Battle of the Bay. They knock off the A's 6-4. All right, wild card standings look something like this. Seattle and Tampa Bay gained a game over Toronto over the weekend. The Blue Jays and the Rays both picked up victories on Sunday. Baltimore fell 2 games back alongside Cleveland with an 8-1 loss to Pittsburgh. Seahawks beat the Seahawks 17-13. A mock game on Saturday at Lumen Field. The quarterback battle between Drew Lock and Geno Smith emerged. Lock looking maybe a little better than Smith during the game. Coach Pete Carroll says we're going to look at the film and decide who played better.
This is a great film for us to watch. It's a big measuring point for us, hopefully, and we'll see what we see. I think we didn't come out very good in the second half of this little game here. First half was pretty crisp and looked sharp, and a lot of good things. I thought we got to throw the ball around the yard a lot of good looks for the quarterbacks and for the receivers. I was really happy to see that DK got some balls and Tyler got some balls, and the tight ends caught some, and a little bit of everything happened today, which was good. A couple of the young guys got some. Didn't see as much of the running game as we've been working on, but still it was a really good, solid day.
I think I showed that I can adapt really well. You come out and energy's up. This is, again, like you said, a mock game, and you go out there, and that was my first 2 series with the ones, and we scored both times we were all together. I think it says a lot about just the feel aspect that I have of playing quarterback. You don't get a lot of reps to those guys. It's interesting when you watch DK run a route compared to basically anyone else in the world, Tyler as well, and to be able to go out there and feel confident roll down the field and put points up on the board. It's what I wanted to do with those guys. It's what I wanted to show today, and I'm happy I did that.
Right now, where I am mentally, I want things to progress and to go, but, again, putting things back into perspective, it's only, a week into camp. And so all of us, we have to collectively come together, and we all have to mentally hit the same strides at the same time. So it's about having patience and really trusting the process.
It's really important to see where we've come, and we handled the line of scrimmage well, and I'm back behind them so I can see what's going on with all of our checks and audibles and things like that. We did that really well, so we've made a lot of progress, but now we need to see what it looks like on the film, and it might not tell us as much as I'm hoping. We'll see.
Drew played really well, as I've always said, and I will go on record to say I have his back. No matter what, I have Drew Lock's back.
That's the exact same thing, that I would say up here. I went through that with Teddy last year. When Teddy got announced the starter in Denver, I did everything I could for him throughout the week, and even on game days. And I would do the same here. Go on the record saying that I'd have Gino's back, and I'd do everything I can throughout the week to make him, feel good going into game day on Sunday.
Seahawks head to gorgeous Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for their first preseason game, and that'll be on Saturday. Speaking of gorgeous, beautiful night at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Good racing, too. Chad Holliday won his first Rockstar Energy B-Mod main event of the season. Donovan Stevens second, and Garrett Evans third on Saturday. Jay Evans continues to dominate with the Cal car in the Plum Perfect Roadrunners class. The Wenatchee driver grabbed his fifth main event win of the year. East Wenatchee's Kyle Spalding second, Ephrata's Josh Roberts third. Sumner's Steve Woods wins the Northwest Vintage Modified main event. Renton's Vince Conwell second, and Gig Harbor's Carl Cheath third, and the AMCA Bandit Dwarf Car main event. The checkered flag goes to Rick Taylor. Well, you don't get to keep the flag. You got to return it. He won the race. Bremerton's Cameron Stark was second, followed by Marysville's Daryl Knutson third, and they'll be back at it again this Saturday at the WVSO, the Columbia River Throwdown. You got, the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late models, the Dixie and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, the Angel Bail Bonds Bandoleros, and the WMRA Midgets. WMRA 97.4 on your dial. All rock, less talk. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday, the 8th day of August. Happy Cat Day. Today it is International Cat Day for our furry friends. Cats, of course, wild. They were domesticated because of agriculture. We got to the point in mankind where not only were they growing enough grain to feed families and villages, but they grew surpluses of grain, and they would store the grain, millet and rice and that kind of stuff. The problem is when you store a bunch of rice and a bunch of millet, the rodents, the mice and the rats are going to eat it. They're going to get into there and they're going to eat it. And so they said, how are we going to do this? I know. Those wildcats that live around town, why don't we domesticate them and they'll kill the rodents? And it worked out good for everybody because, of course, they got lots of food and a nice warm place to sleep. And eventually, wildcats became more and more domesticated, and now they're our furry little friends. Approximately 3.4 million cats that end up in animal shelters. About 3.4 million cats end up in animal shelters each year. 41% of those are euthanized. That's not good. 37% are adopted, and 5% eventually get returned back to their owners. Of course, the Wenatchee Valley's, the Humane Society, they don't kill animals. They don't euthanize them. But I'm sure they got plenty of cats if you want to go down there and get a cat. A group of cats is called a clowder. Cats have over 20 muscles just to control their ears. Of course, cats have two sets of eyelids, ones that go up and down and one that goes side to side, which is a good thing because cats spend about 70% of their lives asleep. Happy Cat Day for you cat lovers out there. It is the bottom of the hour. This is the 53rd anniversary of the Great Train Robbery in Great Britain and England. They studied the train route, and they knew it was going to have a bunch of money, and they did rehearsals, and they did a lot of planning, about a year and a half of planning. And finally, on August 8th, 1863, they pulled it off. 15 train robbers make off with a whole bunch of money. It was about $5 million American dollars, and this was back in 1963. That comes out to about $64 million today. They were eventually caught. It took a while, but they were caught. The bulk of the money has never been recovered, and ironically enough, the robbers did not know this until afterwards. They could have spent the money, because back in those days, the money in Great Britain did not have serial numbers on them. Like we have, every individual banknote, every individual dollar bill and $5 bill, what have you, has their own serial number unique to it. That wasn't the case in Great Britain. They could have spent the money and nobody would have known it was the money that was stolen. The Great Train Robbery of 59 years ago today. By the way, it's also a pretty good movie. 53 years ago today, Ian McMillan, they stop traffic. Ian McMillan takes a 15-foot stepladder out, puts it in the middle of Abbey Road, right outside the EMI recording studios, climbs up to the top of it, and takes that photograph. One of the most famous album covers ever. And now, of course, the Abbey Road zebra crossing is a huge tourist site in London. There is a camera there that operates 24/7, and you can just watch the people cross the street. The cover image of the Beatles album Abbey Road was taken on this date in 1969. And finally, 48 years ago today, President Richard M. Nixon addresses a nationwide television audience and says he will announce that he will resign from the presidency at noon the following day, and Gerald Ford would become the president. The first and to date only president to simply quit. 32 minutes after the hour, a couple of birthdays. This guitarist has a sound. It's instantly identifiable. If you take a U2 record and eliminate everything but the guitar, you know it's The Edge. The guy has a unique sound. The Edge. David Howell Evans is 61 years old today. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's a great guitarist, too. And you just got to love the sound. It just drives the great music of U2. Happy 61st to The Edge. And happy 41st to Roger Federer, whose record for Grand Slam singles titles is no longer his, 20 of them. He's 41 now. He's probably at the tail end of his career. He was number one in the male tennis rankings for a record 237 consecutive weeks, 8 Wimbledon titles, 6 Australian Open titles, 5 U.S. Opens in a row. Oh, and a French Open, just to round it up. Roger Federer, the great Swiss tennis player, is 41 years old today. We're going to take a break. We're going to have an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty coming your way. And if you missed it last week, I want to remind you one more time, Pippin, the Hot August Nights presentation with Jamie Donegan in charge. Pippin returns for another week of shows beginning tomorrow at the America Performing Arts Center. And my conversation with Jamie will air when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from Localtel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from Localtel lets you decide when shows begin.
Things have changed in the motorsports industry. Short supply and high demand have emptied showrooms. But what hasn't changed are the experts at Doghouse Motorsports. They are here to help you reserve the machine of your choice. Stop by and check out the latest 2022 Husqvarna motorcycles, Ubco, and Intense electric vehicles, and other new additions to the Doghouse Motorsports family of high-quality products.
Over the last year and a half, the industry's absolutely changed, but the Doghouse is still your best option for all your power sports needs.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact, reduced our total energy output, and we have found better ways to repurpose our resources. Our smart dealership was built with sustainability in mind from the ground up, meaning no wasted power, water, or other precious resources. In this beautiful valley, we live here, we work here, we play here, and we are here to serve you, whether it's taking care of our environment or providing you with a new or used vehicle or servicing your current one. We are proud to be a green dealership, and at Apple Valley Honda, we are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Hi, this is Kelly, owner of the Original Children's Shop in downtown Wenatchee. We carry the latest in quality children's wear like Riley & Crew, Kite Baby, Little Sleepies, and more. Come visit us for Mommy and Me styles, diaper bags and strollers, and great books and toys for all ages. I look forward to meeting you soon at the Original Children's Shop.
Brian's Pizza and Bowling is changing their name to That Pizza Place. Now, there's still your same favorite locally owned family pizza and bowling center, That Pizza Place. Come hang out in downtown Cashmere.
The NCW Life Channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life Channel today.
Is your recliner as comfortable as this? Does it have lumbar support? The new technology in power recliners is simply amazing.
Hi, can I help you?
Well, yes, I was just telling my friends.
Oh, about the great selection of recliners we have here at Boswell's? It's true. We have everything from pushback recliners to power recliners with all the latest features.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've heard people say, I don't care what other people think. Well, I've said it myself. I'll bet you've said it too. But let's be honest. I don't think there's any of us out there that really don't care about what other people think about us. Well, maybe psychopaths don't care, but whatever. I had to admit that I do care what other people think of me. However, what I've also come to realize is that even though I care what people think, I often don't care enough to do anything about it. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
When I was about 16, I got in a relationship. He hit me for the first time in front of his daughter. He physically abused me in front of my children. I couldn't do it no more. Sage was there for me when I needed them. I didn't hear a lecture from them. I didn't hear anything, but just acceptance. And that's what I needed at the time. And they help you with everything that you need to move on in life and heal.
Did you know that nearly 50% of pet poisoning cases involve human medications and prescription drugs? Sometimes the culprit's a curious dog, but cats get into their share of trouble as well. Other times, pet owners mistakenly give their pets their own medications that are safe to people but toxic to their pets. Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff care about your pets. Go to pawsandclawsvh.com for a complete list of medications to avoid or call 888-PAWS.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge in Leavenworth has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's Intimate Lounge is a wonderful place to relax and dine with beautiful views of the mountains. Do you have a special occasion coming up? Call Crystal's to reserve their event space. Whether your event is grand, intimate, or casual, Crystal's provides unforgettable food and superb service. Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge, proud to be serving fabulous food and drinks.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We are on the stage of the Numerica Performing Arts Center coming this next couple of weeks, actually August 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then again on a 4-day run in the middle of August, the 9th through the 13th. It is Pippin, part of the Hot August Nights Theater Series. For those of you who don't remember, for years and years, this place was pretty much shut down in July and August, which was ridiculous, and the idea was floated a few years ago, Jamie, that why should we do that? Let's go ahead and do shows. In the dog days of summer, Hot August Nights was born. It's been a huge success. Hot August Nights, Jamie, is not a traditional Numerica Performing Arts Center play or musical in any number of respects. First of all, the actual setting is different.
Yeah, it's so different in all ways. And I just want to go back for a second because we started this, it was the first year that Matt Cadman was the executive director. And Don Fox and I decided we would throw this out to him. This sits empty all summer long. And they said yes, and we're not going to do what they do in Leavenworth. Those are big, great, big, family-friendly shows. We want to do things that are a little bit edgier, things that haven't been tackled in a while. And so we started this. And one of the big things that we decided to do right off the bat, it's difficult to sell 500 seats a night for a performance, but 200 is doable. So we decided to put the entire audience and the cast on the stage at the Numerica PAC, and that had not been done before. And Don Fox was able to show the PAC a new way to use their stage, and now they've done it for the comedy shows, they've done it for a lot of other things, and it's just been really cool that we've been able to use this space in a completely different way every single Hot August Nights show, and this is the 8th one.
And there's one of the nice things is that this is a very deep stage. You can do this. I've been to any number of theaters. Mount Baker comes to mind, a couple others. It's very shallow. You couldn't pull it off, but you can do it here.
Absolutely. Yeah. And people go, you get 200 people in the audience on the stage plus your cast. And we've had some elaborate casts. We did La Cage aux Folles. It's like huge staircase with lots of people in the show. And this also is a big show for us. A lot of people in the show, and then there's an offstage chorus that actually is a cast member as well as a whole. But we're using it very differently this year, and people are going to be blown away because we like the unexpected. We like to surprise people, and we like to get the, when we do a reveal or something like that. So we are, without giving it away, this is kind of a new setup for us, this stadium kind of seating. And I think it's going to work really well with this particular production.
For those of you who don't know, and I have a brief synopsis about it, the true-to-life story of the legendary World War II general who fought off the Panzer divisions in North Africa and the Battle of the Bulge, starring George C. Scott and Carl Malden. I'm sorry, that's Patton. I printed the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, Patton. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Great movie.
Why Pippin? Now, you talked about Hot August Nights as non-traditional.
Yes.
That's the basis of it, the foundation. And yet Pippin is a somewhat traditional show.
It is, but it broke a lot of rules, theater rules, and that's why I think it's so well known. Now, 50 years later, this is the 50th anniversary of the show. It broke a lot of rules, particularly by breaking the fourth wall. The audience actually becomes a member of the cast. I'm not bringing people up on stage and do anything like that, but they are involved and have to make decisions. And I think that's a really fun thing. We haven't really done that before in a Hot August Nights show. And so that, and just, it addresses some really big social issues. And so in that, it packs a punch. It's very playful and funny and lots is going on, but there's this through line of what is actually happening and what is real and what is not real. And I think we're getting there so that the audience doesn't quite know for a long time what's real and what's not real. So we take them on the journey and then they become a part of it. So that's kind of fun.
From a continuity standpoint, for you fans of Pippin, the most important thing you probably need to know, the music is intact. The great music from Stephen Schwartz. Of course, this was very early on in his career. I think Godspell was his breakthrough, really.
Godspell was already a success on Broadway, and so he was looking up for a follow-up piece. He had started working on Pippin while he was at Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, and started playing. It was called Pippin. So good they named it twice, and so they started playing around with it, and then Bob Fosse was the hot choreographer director at that time in the 1972 on Broadway, and he didn't really much care for it. He thought it was kind of a fluff piece, but anyway, he signed on, and right away he with his cast started going in a really kind of dark direction with it, and Stephen Schwartz wasn't particularly thrilled with that. And it got a little heated, and to the point where at one part of the rehearsal process, Stephen was banned from rehearsals. And that's kind of funny to think about. So go ahead to 2012, 2013, when they did the Broadway revival, a lot of that darkness was lifted, and this new story appeared. It was always there, but it became a bit more clear and a little bit more hopeful and bright, and it had an ending on it that Stephen always envisioned happening. So I think that's a cool thing. So people that have seen the show before, this is a new take on it, and I'm doing even more than that because I've seen probably about 20 productions of Pippin, and I've always gone, huh, what? It's just, and you can ask just about anybody in musical theater. Yeah, love the music, but the story, what's going on? And I think the reason that is because people failed to ask the question, why? Mm-hmm. Why is this happening? And so by asking that question right up front, we found it necessary to create a backstory. And
you've done that yourself?
Yeah, this is my take on it. I've thought long and hard about it. We were supposed to do this 2 years ago, so I've had 2 years to think about how I wanted to do this, and it makes so much more sense now. I mean, it's still it's a fantasy, but we are playing around with the reality of it and why it's really happening. And there is some darkness to it, but there's lots of comedy, and the dancing is incredible. Costumes are dazzling. So there's just a lot happening here on a lot of layers. And you can go deep into the psyche on this if you want to, or you can just stay right up here and just be playful whatever you want to do.
You mentioned a lot of levels. This is your baby. This is a
Yeah.
Jamie Donegan production.
Right.
You're in charge of the whole 9 yards. So
Yeah.
has this been outside of your full-time job? Are you doing okay? Are you staying ahead of the game? Are you ready for the fourth?
Barely. Well, I think, you know, rather than cracking the whip, I have a crack team, and that makes all the difference. I have Don Fox is my set designer and my longtime good friend and producer. He used to be the technical director here at the PAC. And so he's been amazing, and he came up with this idea for this set that I think will just blow people away. And then I have Bethany Christine Elkin. This is her third production with me here at the PAC. She did La Cage aux Folles in Chicago for me, and as soon as we decided to do Pippin, I called her and I was like, dude, and she's like, yes, I want to do this show, because it was just on Broadway and it was fresh and new, exciting ideas. And then we have a young guy named Alex Alegria who's doing our lighting design, and it's his first really big project, and so he's very excited about this. So I have a crack team that's going to blow this away, plus the entire PAC staff. They are amazing. Anything I say, can we do this? And they're like, yeah, let's figure out how we can do that.
It's funny you mentioned that, because this show has been fermenting for a couple of years. You were supposed to do it, and then COVID 86'd it. Was that actually maybe a good thing?
Absolutely.
In that respect?
I thank my lucky stars every day that we didn't do this 2 years ago, because I would have done a much different production, and it would have probably been a watered down production of the Broadway revival. Because they paired with Cirque du Soleil, not actual Cirque du Soleil, but that kind of a circus troupe. And so they had all these, you know, trapeze artists and all these amazing tricks and all this circusy stuff. And I probably would have tried to do that. I was actually thinking of trying to engage the Wenatchee Youth Circus to try to do that. That sort of fell flat. And so then it got canceled. I had time to really think about it and really delve in. And when I started doing that, I had this big aha moment, possibly drinking a margarita in Mexico, that changed everything. And it just gave me everything I needed. I had this spark, and bam, I was like, what's the why here? Why are we doing this show? And why is this happening to this particular young man? So
no sponsors, no show. Tom and Vicki Michael, thank you very much. Marilyn Everhart, Vernon Julie Smith, your employer, Fielding Hills Winery, America Credit Union, North 40 Productions, Nick McLean Real Estate. August 4th, 5th, and 6th. They take a couple of days off, come back and do shows August 9th through the 13th for Pippin. It's Hot August Nights. I always ask performers, directors, producers behind the scenes. I'll ask you. I think I've asked you this question before. Opening night, closing night.
Yeah.
What do you closing night because you pulled it off and you're almost done with it, or opening night because it's opening night?
I love opening nights. I think there's an energy that's in the air that you just can't ignore. It's there, and the performers feel it, and everybody's excited to know, because the people that are there for opening night are going to go out. They're going to be your best ambassadors or your worst critics. So you have to be on your game for opening night. So I love that energy. However, I have to say the last show that we did was Hands on a Hard Body. And for the last show, we did some special warm-up kind of things. And I took them up in the catwalks, the whole cast, and we were like looking at the lights, and we're looking at all the cables and everything, and just talking about the performers are just one layer. All the technical stuff is a big layer. All the band, the costumes, the electricity that's running through that the building, and the energy in the audience. I'm like, all of that is what makes this production. And it was weird. It was like, for me, I think about that stuff all the time. For them, it was just like, wow. And we like got silent up there, and they could actually hear the buzz of the electricity running through. And I was like, just take it in. And they had this amazing show and it was closing night. And I was like, we had a really good run with it, but I was like, oh man, I wish I'd have done that up front at the very beginning, because they clicked, they dialed in, and it was so cool.
Hot August Nights presents Pippin with Jamie Donovan. It's a Jamie Donovan production. Again, there's only seats 200 people per performance, so Don't dick around. Get your tickets. You can get them at the box office. You can get them online by going to the World Wide Web, which, by the way, this whole internet thing, Jamie, it's catching on.
Is it?
I'm on record on that.
Oh, wow. You know,
You watch.
I love the internets. I think it's a great concept.
Yep.
Al Gore invented it, right?
No, the internets. They sang backup for Aretha Franklin in her 71, 72
Oh,
tour.
okay.
They were great.
Wow. Okay.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with a
Wake
slightly
up.
addled Jamie Donegan, and we'll be right back.
Oh, no.
Hey, Wenatchee Valley, this is Ben Griffin. I'm here with my friend Eddie the Yeti. He wants to share some big news.
Arctic Refrigeration is now employee-owned and has a new name, Columbia Cooling and Refrigeration. I want you to remember this summer, when you're hot and sweaty, call the Eddie.
No, it's called the Yeti, Y-E-T-I, not called the Eddie.
Whatever. We are a factory-authorized Bryant dealer. Whatever it takes.
Give us a call at Columbia Cooling and Refrigeration at 509-662-5911.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, brought to you by Clean Connection. The Hot August Night series continues at the America Pack with the production of Pippin, August 9th through the 13th. Tickets are limited and can be purchased in advance at the box office or by visiting americapack.org. Close for the Classroom is back on Saturday, August 13th at the Saddle Rock Evangelical Church. New clothes, backpacks filled with school supplies, and more. Pre-register your child at the Serve Wenatchee website. And we are back on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, back from vacation. Temperatures around the region, Chelan 71 degrees as we speak. Ellensburg checks in at 66 degrees. It's not windy in Ellensburg. Go figure that one out. Manson, you're at 63. You're the cool spot here in beautiful downtown Wenatchee, Washington, Chelan County, USA, 72 degrees. And we are in for a warm one. And then we're, not going to lie to you, I'm a little worried about Tuesday night into Wednesday, because as this ridge of high pressure is going to give us some very hot days for the next couple of days, it's going to start breaking down and the atmosphere is going to get a little unsettled. We could get some thunderstorms. It's a possibility. Not a lot here in the valley. Basically, your timeline for thunderstorms as it looks like now, and we'll know more this time tomorrow, Tuesday night about 11 o'clock until Wednesday about noon. So that's the window of the possibility for some sporadic lightning, some gusty winds, and dry lightning. So there's very little rain anticipated with the possibility of thunderstorms. Again, it's only about a 20% chance, but 20% is, worse than 10%. Any percent chance of a thunderstorm is not good at all, especially if we get gusty winds and dry lightning. That could make things a little dicey for our area firefighters. We'll keep a close eye on that. We'll have a better idea at this time tomorrow. In the meantime, an excessive heat warning begins at noon today, goes until 11 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to have a mini heat wave. There's a high-pressure ridge. That's going to get us pretty toasty. 103. Our forecast high today, our record high for this date, August 8th, is 104. Going to be pretty close to it. I don't think we're going to get there. 72 for the overnight low tonight. A little bit warmer, but not a little bit cooler, I should say, but not much. 102. On Tuesday, with an overnight low very mild, 74. Again, slight chance of a thunderstorm. Tuesday night into Wednesday with a few passing clouds, and then we'll be plenty warm for most folks. 98, 99. On Friday, it is August, after all, and this is pretty much what we get with August. Although the days are getting shorter, it's still summertime, and we're a long way to go. And that's it for us. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.